Okay, so we are sitting here with Jay7d, founder of Flower Bomb Steaming. Let's jump right into that.
Okay.
Explain what Flower Bomb Steaming is.
Flower bomb steams are steams that I created to heal the body.
Heal the body,
Yeah.
and we gotta get a little deeper than that.
That was like super
That was-
safe and
yeah.
surface. But it is. It's like vaginal steaming is something that women should be doing, period. I just put my twist on it. So flower bomb steams, I actually add flowers to my steams. It's vaginal steaming taken to another level. I kind of took it to another level because I steam here too. So it's like, what would I want as the customer?
So explain, because we've spoken about it, and when you first told me what you were doing, I didn't know nothing about vaginal steaming. So for others out there, men and women, explain exactly what vaginal steaming is.
Vaginal steaming is you're sitting on something and heat or steam is coming out of it to detox your body. So my whole thing is I want to detox my body through my womb. I personally used to suffer from yeast infections, bacterial infections, and my doctors would say you're prone to that. My brain would say it's no way. So I just challenged myself to do some other things. This young lady reached out to me. She was a vaginal steam owner, and she made me one of the brand ambassadors for her vaginal steam company. So she started steaming me on the regular, and it's like, damn, I like this. I stopped going to her. I started steaming at home, and then I'm like, okay, I can do this too. And not even really I can do this too. It was more of I want to help people get free the way I'm free down there. That is like the most annoying thing is if you're suffering from a yeast infection or bacterial infection. It's horrible. Like I feel like every woman suffers from it. Some people just like to suffer in silence. I'm not really one of those type of people, so I just share mine.
What's like misconceptions about it?
That is harmful. The only way it's harmful is if you're diabetic or if you get burnt with the steam. If the steam is too hot, that can happen. If your skin is super sensitive, it can, but you just have to tell your steam person to just turn it down and it could be adjusted. So I think that's a big misconception, and that it's not healthy. A lot of people, they use Dove and they use all these different soaps. They use these body sprays from Bath and Body Works, and if you look at the ingredients, it's so many chemicals. You don't question them, but you question someone that's trying to help you heal your body.
So I know how this could be like taboo for a lot of people to talk about. So how do you market to get your
I break the ice.
customers?
I break the ice with myself. I do a lot of motivational speaking, so I speak honestly and openly and transparent about me. And most people can relate to it. It's like I just speak about it. I'm the person on the front line saying, hey, I suffer from yeast infections. I suffer from bacterial infections. And the crazy thing is, I remember when I started steaming, the young lady who I was steaming with, who was steaming me, she asked you all these questions, similar to my questions, the intake questions. And I lied on some of my questions. So I knew coming into this, women were going to lie. Like, I have to know if you had an abortion or a miscarriage. That's something that most people don't want to talk about. So they lie. Do you suffer from yeast, bacteria, or BV? People will say no, but not even know what BV really is. So it's like, you're saying no, so I'll always tell them BV is that fishy smell. Then they'll say, oh, shoot, yeah, but even, I wouldn't suggest if you're steaming for your first time, you steam with a bunch of people. Because you're really not going to want to talk about everything that I need to really know so I can help you with your steams. I think people should steam individually first, and then once you get comfortable, you start steaming with people. I still personally don't steam with people. I don't like it. This is like a meditation thing. I need to be at peace, not I can deal with you later.
So like, what's the origins of it though? Like, where did this originate? Do it goes back to the Africa days? Like, where does it originate?
Yeah, they call like older people, like my grandmother calls it, I can't even think of the name, but it's like a bath that they used to do for the women back in the day after they had babies. So it's not a new thing. It's just new to us because people don't share it. And it's so unfortunate that even the women higher up, like the grandmothers and the great-grandmothers, they don't share what was going on with their bodies. It's not a thing to share about your vagina. It's like, you can't talk about that. You got to be quiet about that. But no, it's like, people need to know. Like, these conversations need to be had. Like, I need to understand what's happening with my body, the different STDs. Women's bodies are powerful. We carry the babies. We know when you're cheating. We know when you're lying. We know, like, our intuition, our womb, everything is so powerful. So it's not new. I didn't create vaginal steaming. I'm just going to be one of the people that carries it out and live with it. Like, I'm going to continue to steam. I steam weekly.
How important is like something like this as fuck? 'Cause I think the big topic right now is women's sexuality and being openly free with it. So does this help with that not conversation but that narrative?
Yeah, it goes hand in hand. Now, one thing about it though, I feel like this is a little off topic, but I do want to mention this. People who brag about their sexuality, I would be a little careful with. I personally feel like men who brag about their size or brag about anything, that's where they lack. Like, when you're really, really secure, you don't have to go around bragging saying, I got that or I got that. Your partner, no. Like, you got to keep some things between you and your partner. Now, I keep things between me and my partner, so it's not like I'm going to go out here bragging about all this stuff, but it's like, yeah, I do know how to tighten it, clean it. Like, I'm educated on that. I'm not ignorant to it. And I think a lot of people, I think the battle is between like ignorance and just popularity a little bit. It's like, I want to be in, so I'm going to sing these songs, I'm going to dance to these songs, I want to do this, but make sure your body really right. Make sure you really are, you feel me? Like, make sure you really do have that. Like, you know, like, you don't want to be bragging and it's not living up to that.
Go ahead and say the song. We know what song you're talking about.
You see me trying to go all around it too. Like,
Go ahead and
make
say
sure
the
you
song.
got it. Like, you want to make sure you got that. Next question.
So, yeah, I like what you do, and you know, even I can't really relate to it because I don't have one of those.
Men can steam, yo.
I hear you.
Men can steam.
I hear you.
It acts as a Viagra.
All right, okay, yeah, let's talk. Let's talk about that.
The problem is, and I'm going to be really honest. So men who suffer, so diabetes is a dangerous thing, and diabetes really affects us Black people, but it affects you with sex as well. And it's like if you're not educated on it, you won't know. You'll be just ignorant to it. And I had a partner who had diabetes, and he could not get hard because he was diabetic. And that was one of those things, and that's so crazy that I'm even mentioning this. That was one of those things that he didn't want to tell me until like later on. He was embarrassed or ashamed of it, right? And it's like, damn, but you have to tell your partner what you're going through so they can have a better understanding for you. But in the Black culture, we don't speak about our sexuality, or you're put down if you do. So it's like, men can steam, but if you're diabetic, it will be hard because your skin is super sensitive. But it could act as a Viagra too. So it's like, it kind of contradicts itself a little bit, because it's like, I don't want to rip your skin or make it bubble up or do anything, but it can act as a Viagra. And people who are diabetic, because the steam.
Don't tell me that.
But I've seen it. Hold on, I've seen it do two things to men. Some men get hard immediately once they're on the pod. Then I've seen guys not respond well. Like, some guys are like, it's too hot, I can't do it. No, I've seen both. Like, I've seen guys who loved it, I've seen a guy who didn't love it. So it's like, it's all up to you and what your comfortability is and how open you are with yourself. It's only a cleansing. Like, it's not like I'm not in here with you, I don't see anything. You come in, you pull these little curtains to the side. Like, it's super private. You might gotta fix that, but it's super private. So it's not like I'm in here with you. No, it's you and yourself. So guys can steam, sir.
The one thing that I see the connection is more so about helping people free from their sexuality insecurities. Would you agree with that? Free
and heal. Like, when you start healing yourself, you are becoming free. So it definitely goes hand in hand. And that's my thing. It's like, you want to heal your body and free yourself. So yeah. Healing first, but then you'll also get free through your healing process.
So, personally, how has it helped you?
So, like I said, I suffer from yeast, bacterial. I've even had BV, and I started steaming, and I haven't had a yeast, bacterial, or BV since I started steaming. But I steam regularly. Plus, I take care of myself. And I don't want to say other women don't take care of themselves, but as women, especially Black women, we tend to put ourselves last. All we do is surface level stuff: nails, hair, makeup, sometimes. But it's like we don't go and get our massages. We don't go and sit on a steam pot. We don't have that time. We don't make time for ourselves. This forces me to make time for me. Like when I create a new vaginal steam, which is a lot, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go sit on that tonight. Oh, I'm gonna go before I leave. Oh, I got a break. Cool. I'm gonna set me up a pot and I'm gonna do it. Like I take care of me. And that was a part of my healing process. So it's deeper than steaming for me. It's truly about taking care of myself and getting to know myself. I'm telling you, my favorite part is this one back here. Oh, it probably look crazy with my little napkin back there, but that's my favorite one. Like I sit back there in the corner and I lean against the wall and I meditate, I pray, and I just cleanse myself. So it's helped me a lot.
Well, you just said something that I want to touch on. Don't give away your secrets, but like, what's the process you take? Creating a steam, and what does that mean when you say create a steam?
Okay, so it's two things that I want to, when you say that, I think of. Even before when you book online, right? I come in, if you come in at 12, if your appointment is at 12, I get here probably 9 or 10. I sage my room, I cleanse my room, I pray for you because I don't know what you're carrying. So that's one. A lot of people want to get into this field, but they don't understand spiritually where you need to be. You really have to be in a healing place because you're going to take part in someone else's healing process. Steamings, getting back to the steams, I sit and I play with the different herbs that I know I needed for my body. So if you're trying to get pregnant, it's herbs for it. If you're had an abortion, I have herbs to relax you and just to get your mind right. I focus on the mind when it comes to an abortion. If you suffer from yeast, bacterial, BV, cysts on your ovaries, fibroids that we need to shrink, it's different stuff that I can play with the herbs to get you to where you need to be. Then I also even have an option that says build your own steam. So that's when you're just being honest with yourself. Like, okay, I got bacterial, let's put that in there. I know I can't get wet, let's put that in there. Oh, I want to feel like this, let's put that in there. I want to boost my libido, I want to put that in there. So it's like you have to be honest with yourself so I can help you. And a lot of women just tell me like, hey, I can't get pregnant. All right, well, we're gonna make a steam for you. And that's what I do. Like, and I'll even steam on it. So it's not just a you thing, it's me too. Like I'm in this journey with you. I think that's what sets me apart.
So before we jump to another topic, anything else you would like to clear up or add to flower bomb steaming?
Ladies, give yourself a try. Like my advice would be to bet on you and to choose you. Steaming may not be your way to release whatever is going on with you, but at least give yourself a try. And to say that as a owner of a company, that's big because it's not about the money, it's really about you. I care more about you, your freedom, and your healing. So it may not be steaming first, it may be going to therapy. I go to therapy. I talk to my therapist, Lauren, every other week. Like, that's a part of my healing process. I steam, I go to therapy, I go to a massage therapist. It's like I'm investing in myself and I'm making it easier for other people to invest in me. Take care of you so you can take care of others. And vaginal steaming is just a part of it. Just try it. Give yourself a try.
And you said the perfect thing to segue. You said you are an owner, you are an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Explain what entrepreneurship means to you.
Oof. Entrepreneurship means to me freedom. And it's freedom to do what you choose to do with your business. Sometimes we work with these companies and we have these bright ideas and they get shut down because you aren't the owner or the boss or the manager. And it's like I don't have to be the manager or the boss or the owner to have an idea. Don't shoot down my idea just because it's coming from me and I'm in a uniform. And I was on both sides. Earlier I spoke at an event and this young lady, she was like, yeah, because the worker, and I had to correct her. Please don't disrespect the worker. I was the worker before. Like the worker becomes the boss. Like some people are handed things down, but a lot of people who keep it are the people who work. Like we had to work first. We had to understand, okay, I don't really like this. I don't like selling shoes. I worked at DTLR for 3 days. I worked at Cashland for years. With Cashland though, it was deeper for me than selling clothes. I made connections with real life people. I help real life people. I would call the owner and say, hey, this mother is a single mother. Her son this one particular mother, her son was like a size 14 shoe. She couldn't afford. And I'm like, yo, can we help her? Can we partner up with this mom and just help her get clothes for her son so he won't get bullied? So with that, it was deeper for me. With managing my drummers, it was deeper for me. I was still a worker, but I was still a boss too, because I knew to take care of people. And I knew that me taking care of people would take care of me in the long run. And that's how I'm surviving now with my entrepreneurship. The people that I've sowed seeds into, they're the ones that are coming back and pulling up.
Explain how important that is, because most people don't realize, like, you know, a connection you make 4 years ago might not grow into something until later.
Yo, one of my clients the other day, can you see my? Okay, sorry. But one of my clients the other day, she came to me and she said, hey, last year I was walking by in the mall and I came into Cashland and I told you that my son really wanted something from Cashland. And she said, I took a hat off the shelf and I gave her the hat and said, tell your son enjoy his hat. And she looking at me like, what? And I'm like, girl, tell your son, we good. Like, we good. Like, we're good. And she came back and she supported my business a year later. So it's like, man, you never know who you pour into, who will be the person that... My grandmother always used this saying, like, you never know who's going to give you your last glass of water. You never want to be thirsty and no one wants to help you because you never helped anyone. So that's me. I pour water into everybody's cup. If I can, I will. If I can, I will. And that's how I survive. Those connections keep me going. That's what really keeps me going, my connections. So it's definitely important. Everything isn't about money the way people think it is. I used to think that too. But it's like, no, the connection in the relationship is really real. That helps you way longer. The money runs out. If you don't invest it or flip it or do something good, the money runs out. I've seen it 1,000 times. The money runs out.
So when did you first learn about, because you spoke about your dad and how he, you know, watered your seed at an early age. So what was the age when you really understood entrepreneurship?
27. Like, yo, it's never... Yo, I was always in it because of my personality, but it's like, you never can be, like, really ready. Like, people who are like, I'm born... I mean, yeah, you can be born with it, but it's like, you gotta experience some stuff. Like, experience has been my best teacher. Like, if I wouldn't have traveled early on, like, my mom, honestly, I speak a lot about my dad, but my mom is dope, too, because she put me on a plane, my first plane ride, by myself in the 5th grade to go away for a summer. It was me and another kid to go and see my uncle out in Oklahoma. And I got to ride horses for the first time in my life. I got to see, like, mountains for the first time. Like, I got to experience so much stuff, and I never let go of that. I got to see... I forgot what animal it was. They have like tarantulas and like buffaloes in the middle of the street. But I got to see stuff that I had never seen before, and it's like, man, experience. So early on, the people around me, the elders around me in my tribe who took care of me, it's like they poured into me early, super early, and I didn't even understand what it was really doing. I was just living it. I was just enjoying it and living it and just going through the experiences. So pour into your children, take them. I had my little cousin the other day, and she said, I've never been downtown. And I'm like, what? I felt bad as her cousin. Like, how the hell she ain't never been? You feel like I felt bad. And it's like, damn, she's 12, and she's never been downtown. Like, never been on a plane, never been out of town. Good God. And there's no judgment. I know it's a lot of people like that, but it's like, at least try to get over to the next city. If you're in Maryland, try to go to D.C. You know, try to go to New York. Try to go to Virginia. Those are places that's out of Maryland. Like, go over there.
I'm glad you said that, because living in California, you don't realize how being in Baltimore, we were blessed because we had New York 4 hours, Philly 2 hours.
Philly, yeah.
California is 10 hours. You still in the same state.
Yo, Cali is huge.
So,
but I'm glad that you even said, as a black man, it's like so many men never been on a plane, never lived anywhere else. Like, it's sad because it won't. Your brain will never be like fully, you won't really fully use it. Like, you want to go to other places and become another person. When I go to different places, I don't want to say I become another person, but another layer of me is being pulled off. Like, something else is being activated. I want to share this. I have a vision board in my room. It's a glass vision board that I bought from Marshall's for about $25. I used to post it. And one of the sections is places that you've never been that you really want to go. And I made a list of places that I really wanted to go to, and I'm like, I have to go to these places this year. Of course, we got hit by a pandemic, and I still made it my business to book this trip to go to at least one of my places that I really wanted to go to. And the Grand Canyon was something that my dad used to tell me, you have to go and experience the Grand Canyon. And I'm like, why? And I've been to Vegas, and every time I was in Vegas, I never could fly over to Arizona. Something always happened to keep me from Arizona. And I'm like, why have I been to LA, Vegas, but something is in Arizona? And I'm going to Arizona twice, back to back. And it's like I'm going to be there for a while because I know it's something there for me. I don't know what, but I'm just excited to see. Like, I want to see what's there for me. So make your bucket list and start accomplishing it. And if you're in Maryland, go to New York. Go. Jump on the bus. The bus be like $20. You can go for $20. Go. Like, DC, go. Get out of here. Go experience something different.
So, going back to the empowerment, but mainly black women empowerment movement that's going on right now. How important is it for black women to be the leaders of, entrepreneurship and, pushing the narrative forward?
Black women we're gods. Like, our intuition and our insight and our the way we dress, the way our hair is styled, like, every woman can do this. Black women can. Like, if you look back at me, like, my hair has been different every year. Like, everyone can't do that. Some girls gotta stick to the script, and we don't. And that's what be my advice to every female entrepreneur. You don't have to stick to no script. There is no script. Like, when you're in it, you're in it. You're creating a system that works for you, and you go. You go, you win. Like, it's important to own a business. What are we going to give our children? Like, what are we giving our children? Like, my children, I want my children to know, like, I worked hard before you got here. I put in some work before you got here. My relationships will keep you going, even when I'm no longer. So it's like, I need you to understand that I went hard for you. Now you go hard for you. Black women, we got this. We got this one in the bag. Like, we got this one.
Do you feel like with, that confidence level rising and more and more women, do you feel like men are becoming more insecure? That's why it's becoming more of a feud than the actual coming together?
I think that's the agenda being pushed, though. I think that's the agenda that's always been...
Great answer. ...has
been pushed. Like, for... Black women could be entrepreneurs, but black women, we do need a black man. And that's just it.
Why?
Why not?
I mean, why?
It's like, I want...
Explain why you think...
So, early on, my dad taught me that the original Holy Trinity is man, woman, child. So it's like the Chinese marry a Chinese, they have a Chinese baby. The Hispanic man, Hispanic woman, Hispanic baby. It's like, why are we the ones that always got to go outside to find happiness or peace or joy? And it's like, you want to dig deeper and understand we have to be so powerful that they're trying to break us up and divide us and divide and conquer. Like, it's one of those things. And I truly want a black partner. Like, I don't want to sound like I don't like white people, because I have white people in my family, but it's like, I feel like I would really be able to take me and everything that I got going to the next level with a black man who is in tune with self. Not just any black man or not just any person, but they have to be in tune with self. I'm in tune with self. So that's important to me. I want my child to be in tune with self. How else can you be in tune with self if both of your parents aren't? So it's like, you need, don't ever get too caught up on, I don't need a man. You'll fail. Being in that big house with the Range Rover and the Benz, all of that stuff, you, your daughter, your son, but you don't have no man to share this with. No man can hold you at night after a long day, after you had a crazy thing happen to you at work and you can't go home to your man. You playing with fire with that. You need him. He needs you. That's how we recreate. That's how we keep this thing going. That's how we keep black people going. Black and black. Like, you can't do that with nothing else.
Great answer. All right, so we're gonna end it on this one. So, what advice would you give not only to a young kid, but that 35-year-old or 28-year-old who's lost right now? They're trying to find the right direction, and what advice would, whether it be start a business, go to school, whatever, just whatever, because you pretty much know what you want. You see your vision, you understand your vision. A lot of people right now don't know their vision. They can't see it. So
my advice would be rewire your brain. Rewire your brain. Speak life into yourself. I hear so many people say that this is you. You can acknowledge it to yourself as you watch this. I hear people say, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, I'm this, I'm that. And it's like, yo, you just insulted yourself 1,000 times. Like, no, you're beautiful, you're smart. Yes, you made a mistake. And I think with me, I tell my truth so much more now because I want people to realize I am smart, I am beautiful, I am an owner of something beautiful, I am doing great things, but I still have my faults, I still make mistakes, I still am human. So please don't beat yourself up for anything. You can make a mistake, that's okay, that's how we grow. Those dark places are what pushes us forward. Like, don't stay there, you don't have to stay there, but speak life over yourself. Speak life over yourself. I am great. I am amazing. I am smart. Speak over your kids. You are smart. Your hair isn't nappy. It's just curly. You can go through, speak life into yourself. Speak life into your situation. Whatever you want will be, but speak to it. Watch that thing grow. I did a girl talk in the next room last month, and the young lady, Megan is a black doula. I love her. She got up and she spoke, and she said, Jasmine said that she would have a vaginal steam center last year. Now I'm here in Jasmine's Vaginal Steam Center. I spoke that. I spoke it. Like, I didn't know how the hell it was going to come. I didn't know where the money was going to come from. I knew I had blew all my money. Like, it was so many things going against me, but I still was speaking to it. Like, man, I don't know where it's coming from, but God, I need that. I want to help those people. I want to help. Just give it to me and watch what I do with it. And I promise to remain humble. And I'm doing just that. I opened it. I'm still humble. I don't treat people differently because of anything. It's like, speak life over yourself. Speak to that situation. Speak to that trauma, that child inside of you. And honestly, I just had to tap back into that kid, that 6-year-old little girl. Who does she want to be? Get back to her. Get back to her. Get back to him.
Great interview. Great answer.
Thank you, Mr. Hilton.
So you are a motivational speaker.
Yes.
You are a business owner. How can people reach you? If they want you to come out, talk to a kid, or they want to come get steamed.
Come get steamed, and I can come out and talk to a kid. No matter, whatever you need, I can do. So my personal Instagram is JAY, the number 7 and the letter D. The Instagram for Flower Bomb Steams is simply Flower Bomb Steams. If you're on Facebook and no Instagram, it's Jasmine Duggar. If you're on YouTube and no other social media, it's Talk to Me, Jay7d. But the website is super simple, Jay7d.com, and you can reach out to me on there for anything. I think that's it. I think that's all the contact information I got. It might be something else, but I'll just leave it below this interview.
All right, we checking out.
Thank y'all.